Hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Daemonhunters, specifically the DLC Duty Eternal is why we're sort of looking at this kind of fresh, kind of a revisit. The game did come out earlier in the year. Long and short of it is it's an XCOM-like game, very heavily like XCOM, and it works very well, but all with a 40k slap of paint. It's one of my favorite games of the year, easily. So Duty Eternal has just dropped. And what that's done is it's added sort of integrated DLC features. So it's not exactly like an extra mission or campaign extension or anything like that. It adds 2 units. It adds a Dreadnought, so you can recruit that into your squad, and also the Techmarine. And on top of it, what was it? It's like a Gladius frigate. You can use a different frigate, which it's not clear how that's implemented. And that can be the problem with this sort of DLC. Apparently there's a whole plethora of upgrades, like character upgrades as well for when they level up, and gameplay feature changes as well. So it's more that I just have to dot point this, let you know that this game is fantastic, it's getting ongoing support through new DLC, and the best way to experience this, as I understand it, would probably be to start a fresh campaign with the DLC. So now there's never been a better time to check it out. So what we'll do is we'll jump in, I'll show you the game in broad strokes, and we'll see if we can get any sort of these DLC features implemented. But again, nature of the beast, it could be difficult to show it specifically in this short window that we have. Anyway, new campaign. Standard. We'll turn tutorial off. Duty Eternal, there we go, there's our DLC. Enables all content from Duty Eternal. Cannot be turned off once the campaign is started. Well, there you go, that sort of gives you an idea that it affects your entire run. So yeah, I guess we could just skip over this. We're already skipping the tutorial. The tutorial's got like a really interesting prologue. You know, you play as the big dude bro. Learn the ropes, that sort of thing. Story thread's really quite cool and well implemented. The graphic style has a bit of a sort of exaggerated caricature quality to it, a bit like maybe Fortnite, and I think it's fantastic.
An inquisitorial transmission.
Baleful Edict, prepare for my arrival.
Duty calls, Commander. We should open a Voxling.
Yeah, probably.
Inquisitorial vessel. Permission granted to come aboard.
So the Grey Knights are some super secret bloody James Bond dudes, which is funny because apparently they've got a codex and an army list. If they were so secret, we wouldn't know about them, right? But I think Inquisitors have a bit more authority over them. Inquisitors are sort of, well, Inquisitors are the James Bond dudes, right? And I guess maybe the Grey Knights are a bit more like, I don't know, the MI6 organization? I don't know how best to describe it. But I think they are subservient to the inquisitorial orders and that sort of thing. Music's cool. All this lighting, that. We'll let this cutscene run out because it's pretty cool. This chick's a bit of a bad bitch. She's cool, coming in and creating a little bit of friction and running the show. Bloody old mate shoulder pads isn't loving it.
Thank the God Emperor I found you. I must commandeer this vessel at once.
That's gonna go down well.
We are bound for Titan. The Edict cries out for repair.
That's our ship, the
The
Edict.
Tech Priest speaks the truth, Inquisitor. Our last crusade bled us dry.
I'm not blind, Knight. But heresy does not operate at our convenience.
No.
My destination is Koromar Prime, within this very system. Not such a taxing journey, I'd expect.
And what is it that you hope to find there?
This.
Beneath rotting skies, the air thickens.
Astropath.
with the world's final breath. Seeds planted in flesh and bone, watered with blood and tears. A warrior alone in the garden of a grinning god.
These are scraps of astropathic whimsy.
There's more.
It grows. It spreads. a great dispersal upon the etheric wind. The bloom.
The bloom.
Proliferating. First, then Koromar, then world after world. Its roots spread from an ancient veil. Inquisitor, hear me. Hear me. Hear me. Who tends the garden?
Sorry, mate, you have to speak up. Can't hear you.
The Astropath sacrificed himself to send that message.
Now you understand why we must investigate.
Commander, we cannot risk further damage to this vessel.
It is the chapter ship, Dominus. The Inquisitor has every right. to
And
request
you're the
support.
upstart commander of the
Not
vessel,
a
because, you know,
request.
spoilers, I guess, but
Commander,
the
with your leave, we
you know,
will
the
set our
captain
course for this
kicked the bucket in
Oromar
the
Prime.
Yes.
tutorial.
Good. That will do.
But
for
it's
now.
cool as well because you have these sort of these like month cycles where you report back to base, and the dude, I guess he's the head of the Grey Knights. He's fucking cool, man. I could listen to that dude talk like read the back of a shampoo bottle. He's great. And you can sort of push your luck and request help and all that, and he's like, oh well, you know, you're a fucking nobody, so I'll give you this, but that's it, you know. So there's a negotiation component to getting sort of meta upgrades, which I always thought was pretty cool. And even when the dude's telling you to shut up and you're being too cheeky for asking for too much, God, yeah, he's just I just remember the character being very well acted and written. It was cool. Anyway, so here's your car. All this stuff's sort of locked at the moment, but you can see here, this is how you can, you know, customize your boys and do research projects, choose where you're going to go next. And it is, you know, the analogy I think is apt of like, it's like having 11 holes in your hull and only 10 fingers to plug them. There is this plate spinning mechanic to it, the bloom that proliferates throughout the world or throughout the universe. And it's kind of like if you go over here to deal with this, the other two things over there are going to get out of control. So there's a bit of a Hydra thing going on. Anyway, cool. You can see we're going to get rewarded with servitors. This is just sort of a default let's ready, set, go mission. I think it is. Yeah, I didn't have access to mess with my squad. What we might do, I you know, as much as we've given an idea of the quality of the cutscenes, I think they're great, actually. They're well written, well directed, all that sort of stuff. But there's no need to get too bogged down on it. Let's actually try and showcase some gameplay. Right. Oh man, it's good to be back. Select Unite. I think we've got a few blokes on the bench. Maybe. Swap Night. Birth available, but we've got 6 for the moment. Right? Justicar, Apothecary. I guess we've got one of each. Is that what it's given me as well? Looks like it, right? So your Justicar is sort of tank, right? If I recall, he's pretty much the up the guts, you know, lots of smoke, take the hits. The Purgator is your sit back and give fire support, although you can give him flamethrowers, you can give him, so you can set his sort of range engagement, but he is definitely a ranged bloke, right? The Interceptor is a bit more of a sort of hybrid melee DPS, has a lot of teleport abilities and flanking potential, that sort of thing, so you don't send him in as the point engagement because he will get minced. He's a bit of a glass cannon. So you sort of poke and harass on the side with that dude. And your Apothecary's kind of your medic type dude. All right. We'll just leave them all. Well, yeah, no, I'll go into them because you've got abilities. Oh, look at this. I start with ability points on him already. I think this sphere grid, this grid is really quite inspired. It's different for each dude. If I press this, will I see someone else's grid or no? That's going through his crap. Okay, but you can see this is sort of your hub where you start the Justicar, and you can see there Justicar gains +1 armor with the Aegis shield ability, which is like a hunker down ability every dude has, and they overcharge a shield. This guy can just generate more because he's a tank, right? Fast recovery gains +2 HP whenever they targeted with heal. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. I don't remember that actually, but that's fine. So he gets healed even more, but that's probably he's got more health. So you've got these little side chains, or I don't know what you want to call them, categories, and that's how you get into them through the join. And it looks like, see through here, it might be difficult to see, but that doesn't go to that. That goes around. It goes around. These go around. To get to this one, you have to go through the bottom and across. So you can't get to there from there. So there's actually a lot of strategy towards like how are you going to build your character. You don't really want to build them flat, or maybe you could, but you probably want to have an end game in mind. If I recall, the top tree of this is sort of getting into Terminator armor. Is that right? Yeah, there you go, Terminator armor. Let's give this bloke Terminator armor immediately, and I guess we'll skill into this tree. Aegis Shield, Psychic Boon, activate to gain +3. Oh, okay, there you go. Oh, yeah, sorry. So how to describe this? See that armor is just a passive equipment sort of thing, so it's a little bit of a special example. But see, mousing over this, it says Aegis Shield. That is the ability he already has. It's already unlocked. But what I'm mousing over now with my pointer is the upgrade of +1 armor underneath it. So this isn't actually an ability that's added. It is an upgrade to said ability, right? I hope that's sort of clear. You can see up here you can get more armor through there. Looks like you can add Warp Charge Fortress. So it's showing you what this entire node is pretty much the Aegis Shield node, if that makes sense. Anyway, so let's put that down. Confirm promotional ability choices with old mate. Bloody, yeah, you better believe it, right? What we could do now is we could actually change his armor to Terminator armor. Because we've unlocked it. To get a little bit more health, a little bit more armor. Cool. I think you get some sort of DLC bloody starting crap, you know, like these. Ector's brand, special swords. You can give them different weapons. I mean, the hammer, they all have like special abilities. Hammer's more of like a high risk, high damage. You got ones that are more like for parrying in combat. Warding Staff is for generating fucking something, I can't remember. Here you go, Aegis Shield. It has a chance to accidentally like just trigger the Aegis Shield passively, which is pretty handy dandy to be honest, on a tank. Alright, range dude. Do you have any points, or is it maybe it's just the first dude that has some points to get going? Looks like it. Looks like it. All right, we'll just go with that. So that wasn't a bad way to show off how you can sort of change your dudes within their little class lane. All right, off we go. Me and the boys. You can customize the armor a little bit. There was no random button. I should have checked just then, because that was something that killed me. Is I would love a random button, because all the dudes all start with default armor, default everything, and I couldn't care less about fucking, you know, the B pattern shoulder pad or whatever, right? I'm not sweaty like that. Just give me a random button so I can make them all look different, and then they can have personalities around that.
Men look for signs of this plague.
So that was one of the things, but that's picky, you know, like in the scheme of things, who gives a shit? Okay, cool. So off to the races, kill all the enemies. Oh god, I gotta remember how to play this. This is great. So we probably don't want to overdo it. Let's go. There's a lot of combo systems as well, knocking pillars down, blowing up environmentals. Very much taps the Gears Tactics, right? Gears Tactics, I think, is something that is kind of underrated. Such a great game. That I think some people might have just poo-pooed because it wasn't Gears of War traditional. You know, it's a turn-based Gears of War game, and man, it slapped.
At once.
Right.
The Emperor lights our path.
If I send you in there, mate,
All run away.
get a little bit of cover.
It will be done. Yes, come on.
Cover hopping's pretty important in this game. It gets quite tough,
Now.
to be honest. What are these blokes doing over here? Bloom Rises. That's right, so this is sort of a Doom timer in here, right? This Warp Surge thing. And if your dudes can sort of overcharge and psychically charge their attacks, I suppose is the law, right? Because they're all kind of psychers, I think, with this team. And so you can essentially jam it up and do more damage, do, you know, magic abilities, that sort of shit. But By doing that, it increases this warp surge charge, and then when it maxes out, it will create essentially a spawn wave, right? So there is a risk-reward component to like how hard in the paint you want to go, because it's going to risk, you know, pissing off the powers that be, essentially, right? Now, I think I might just up guts it. There we go. Like your little mask, mate. It's very cool.
Permission to engage, Commander.
Permission granted. Alright, cool. So what can we do here? We've got Aegis Shield, Overwatch. He's got a frag grenade as well, and obviously he can shoot, right? If I were just to click it... Oh, I think they're out of range, actually. I was going to just sort of try and show off what I was talking about. What if I go... Let's test it. We're going to go up here and then we're going to pop the old Aegis Shield, right? We're just going to get this bloke in amongst it and get him tanking. Alright, so he's got a whole bunch of extra armor, basically. And what about you? You're my gunner. And then you see you've got a predictor. Tells you if you can see them, if you can shoot at them, I think is... Yeah, right, yeah. See above their head, it's got 3, 4. I wonder what that number means. Seems you can shoot from here. Yeah, okay, you can see there's tiny little lines.
On the way.
Bugger it, let's do that. Cool. So, we're actually going to hit this environmental, just because that will rock. Buzz! Have a seat, lads. It seems I'm out of range. I mean, I could attempt... See, the Overwatch arcs are really, really small as well, which I think is great. It forces you to, you know, you can't really sit in the corner too much. So maybe you'll have one of these dudes, these Purgator blokes. But taking a full squad is going to have limited viability, right? Now this guy's got a teleport as well. He can teleport a limited distance. However, I might just walk him up, let old mate do his tanking, and then our medic sort of plays a mid-range role, right? But he's handy to keep around in the pocket. Let's put him there for the moment.
Steady and surely.
I'll make sure you don't pop that pod. Alright, and we'll just put him on Overwatch for now. Let the baddies have a go. Confirm.
Affirmative.
Interesting how they pop out when they Overwatch. Wait, I was using that. Oh, there we go. We zapped a dude.
Slay the darkness.
I love the screaming.
Die!
Oh, he's steady on. You're shooting the wrong bloke, you bastards.
You will bleed!
That's a bit more like it. So it chips away their armor before it touches their health, and not all of them have armor. In fact, none of them do. Just old mate Terminator does. He has that, right? But I believe it will regen back to that 2 every round, right? So it's not permanently stripped. It's just stripped on the round.
Blade is yours.
I mean, I could probably just go stab this bloke. You can see there it's telling me I'm probably not going to kill him. But what we could do is force strike, and we will one-tap him. However, you can see that overcharges that meter there. It also uses up a willpower, of which he only has 5. And I'm trying to remember how I think you might get it back from... I'm not 100% sure how you get him back. Killing dudes or something like that, whatever. Anyway, let's hit him extra hard. See you, mate. Have a seat.
For the Golden Throne.
The Golden Throne it is. Oh yeah. We'll just do a normal stabby stab on this bloke. So you can see that you get like, what is it, 3 AP, and you can sort of split that between movement and attack however you see fit. So it's a lot more flexible than some of the traditionals. So your Purgator, for example, he could probably just sit up the back, just shelling dudes all day. If he had the range.
With haste.
Here we go. Now, he doesn't have a warp ability for it, and each gun is sort of different. I can't remember. I think this one might just be more damage increase, but there's one that turns your shot into like a blast shot instead. So it's not just a straight increase in damage, it's an augment. He also needs to reload his gun as well. So guns are actually really powerful in this, but there's a lot of melee. There's more melee in this than you would find in an XCOM. Which is very much in the spirit of, you know, Warhammer. Like, we could just run up and give this guy the old how's it going? How you doing?
Enemies destroyed.
Well, you know how it be.
As you command. I am here. Your command?
Alright, so this bloke has the ability to heal. With, what's it called? The Narthesium. Which is his little bloody chainsword fister, right? Take a knight within one range and heal them. Uses 1 AP. Yeah, so it's got unlimited uses. It's only limited by the amount of, whatever you want to bloody call it, willpower that he's got.
These wounds will heal.
So we'll just give this guy a little jab.
My wrath is restored, brother.
Yeah. I can't quite remember, but you can generate willpower. Alright, where are we at? Let's oh man, it's good to be playing this again. What a game. Again, it's a little tragic. I'd love to show off the the Dreadnought or whatever, but who has all the time? You know, it's probably not something you get for many hours into the game.
Taking position. It will be done. Here. Onward, brothers.
But at the very least, you know, an opportunity to shout this game out, which some may have missed. It came out of Frontier Foundry, I think. So Frontier Developments, you know, they make the... Actually, no, Frontier Developments might have made this. Or was it Foundry? I can't remember. But, you know, the guys that make, like, Planet Zoo, Elite Dangerous... I'm trying to think. The Jurassic World games as well.
None may hide from our warp sight.
Oh, that's cool. It gives you an idea which way they're going next. Kill all enemies. Hey, sexy mama. Wanna kill all humans? Let's see if I can trigger him from here. Aha. So you got to pay attention to the models. So these are all melee-based dudes. The other ones were more guardsman range guys.
We have seen the dead walking this way.
And so these blokes have a predictable AI pattern. As in, you want to set up Overwatch like crazy against these blokes.
I will hold them here. At once.
I think there's a friendly fire component to this as well. I can't quite remember, so just got to be careful with that. Oh, bugger it, we'll set it up and see what happens. Yeah, so this isn't super long range.
They shall not pass!
I'll put him there. You never know, they might get really close. And I believe it sort of plays like the XCOM 2 expansion when they added the little zombie dudes. As long as these blokes have ammo, they will keep popping. You got to run their guns dry to stop their Overwatch.
I will need to examine this corpse and...
I will not tolerate this contamination spreading through my servitors.
Do not instruct me, Techmarine. I will follow proper
That worked out.
protocols. A satisfactory effort. Now return with my carcass so I can set to work.
We will deliver them to you as soon as containment is properly confirmed and sanctified.
Be swift about it.
Jeez.
If this plague has already spread
She's a pretty
beyond
cranky
this
chick,
planet,
eh?
then we will have far more ground to cover.
Oh, very good. I thought there was another squad of dudes to kill. Okay. Well, I guess that'll work out. What we might do is, we'll see if we can just skip over this. Oh, this is a debrief window. I'm curious how the Dreadnought works, because now my Warhammer's a bit rusty, but I thought you stick a dude in a Dreadnought machine when he's fucked. Or you know, it's a pseudo reward. It's like, hey, you're about to die because you're a vegetable, we're going to put you in a bloody Dreadnought suit and seal you in there forever, right? It's sort of a one-way ticket. Promote? No promotions here. So I'm curious how you recruit a Dreadnought specifically. I don't know if it's going to really show us this. Birth available. Again, we need to request upgrades.
Storm.
I mean, if I were to go character... Oh, don't suppose you've added a random button, have you, game? No, you have not. Fuck, that shits me. Yeah, that's crap. Abilities. Yeah, it's not like they've added a tree or anything like that. So what I'm going to go ahead and say, my honest guess is that, see, you got the Interceptor, Purgator, whatever, Apothecary. I think that the other classes will just be distinctly separate, have their own tree, that sort of thing, and you probably can recruit them from back home, sort of thing. Anyway, cool. So there you have it. 40k Chaos Gate. Bit of an overview, bit of a dot point brief on Duty Eternal, which is the new DLC. It should be out now at time of release of this video. Yeah, check it out. Even if you didn't get the DLC, base game's phenomenal, but it strikes me now. I believe it's on special at the moment as well. But if you are going to bite the bullet, consider just getting the DLC and getting the whole integrated playthrough. Get the full experience, get as much crap in there as possible. Anyway, what a game. I'm going to play more of it because I can't help it. Team, might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.